this one to your to calculus. Okay, so it's a order to verify. Okay, verify and what do you call this one, and to analyze data. Okay, so basically in our everyday lives, okay, we are actually surrounded by information. Okay, and it is up to us to understand and try to gather this information and try to make sense out of this information. Okay, so if you are in search for an answer, if you are in search for, if you have a problem and you want to know the answer to it, okay, what do you need to gather in order for you to solve the problem? Isn't it that you need to gather information, right?
Yes, data.
Do you agree? If there is a problem, if there is a question, okay, if you have any question in mind, any type of question, to find the answer to that question is you need to gather information. See, where do we gather that information? Isn't it? We gather it from our surroundings. We gather it from people. We gather it from our environment, right? But there are a lot of information out there. You gather it, then if you go to Google and then you search, everything that you see in Google is information that is now jam-packed in the internet. Okay. The thing that you need to do is to find your answers is you need to filter out, or you need to choose the information that is now relevant to the question or the problem that you have. Okay. So basically the gathering, separation of data, organizing of data, that is now meant for the purpose of answering a certain problem. That is now the heart of statistics. Okay. So that is now the branch of mathematics that deals. This is now the branch of mathematics that deals with wait. That deals with the methods. Okay. And this is now a branch of mathematics that deals with the methods which help us describe, summarize, interpret, and analyze data. Okay. Now, statistics can be applied everywhere. Okay. It is now actually used in media. Okay. Used in media. What else? Politics. Obviously in agriculture, economics, okay, and different, okay, and other fields of expertise. Okay, so what do we mean by this? In any field in that we know, be it business, economics, okay, sciences, engineering, as long as you are now interested in, or as long as you are researching something, okay, then you will find statistics, okay, that involves research. Okay, for example, agriculture. You want to develop a better type of rice. Okay, so you do experiments, and then you need to develop, like, what do you call this one? A bigger grain, a longer grain. Okay, more resistant to drought, or have a lot of information out from that experiments. But information without processing it, it's useless. So from those information that you gather, you need to use your statistical calculations to bring out information from the data. So that's why it's very important and used in different fields. Politics, you need to have surveys, votes, okay, to determine who is the best president, okay. Media means, for example, YouTube. For those of you who are familiar with YouTube, there is the statistical part of the YouTube, how many viewers, how many likes, dislikes, and everything. Those information now are going to be used in order to determine if your YouTube account or is progressing or not. Okay, so something like that. Even in education, okay, we use statistics in order to determine if the students are ready to go to the next level. Okay, that's the reason why we give you tests, and put, or that you produce in the test, are just plain numbers, right? But we need to do some statistical calculations in order to determine if you are now ready to go to the next level. Okay, so that's how statistics works. And that is what we are going to learn from now on. Okay, so that's it for the introduction there. So do we have two types? Okay, we have two branches of statistics. Branches. We have the first, and we have number two. We have your inferential statistics. Okay, what's the difference between the two? When you say descriptive statistics, this focus on gathering, okay, methods on gathering, organizing, presenting, and describing data. Okay, so that is the descriptive statistics. Basically, you focus on getting information, gathering data, organizing it so that it is easier to analyze, and then you present it, okay? Now, for inferential statistics, we use the data, statistical data, we use statistical data to make predictions of possible outcomes, of possible outcomes or conclusions from the gathered data. Okay, so that's basically the two main branches of statistics. The descriptive one is just for gathering the data and organizing the data, presenting it data. Then that is now going to be your inferential statistics. Okay? Is this one clear? Example, okay? Just a quick example to illustrate this one. So from here, let's say we have a drill. Drill, you know what's a drill bit? This is now the, I do not know, the one that you use to drill holes or to make holes in walls and metal and stuff. You have seen or you have seen something like this, a drill bit? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Let's say that you are now being asked to choose from two types, brand A and brand B. Brand A and brand B. And then they drill a hole on a certain piece of metal, okay? So they drill a hole in a certain piece of metal until this one is going to break, okay? So that is now the testing part. So what happens is in brand A, we were able to drill, we made 5 tests, for example. So 2 holes and then it breaks. That's the first test. Then another same drill bit for brand A, 4 holes before it breaks, 5 holes before it breaks. Wait, 2, 4, let's say. Okay, so that is now the test. 2 holes before this one breaks, and then 5 times. Okay, for drill B, he was able to, let's say, drill like wait, okay, so something like that. 5 tests for this one was able to get 4 holes before it breaks, 5 holes before it breaks, 6 holes before it breaks, 7 holes before it breaks, and then 8 holes before it breaks. Okay, so this is now the test. So we gathered data. Since you already have gathered data in this form like this, now for inferential, if I am now going to ask you the question, which brand is better, A or B? Which brand should you choose, A or B? You got the idea? So to recommend okay, okay, or if you're not going to use any statistical analysis on your decision, then it's just guessing. It's just guessing. Oh, this one Cepulo ini 8, so this one better, right? But this one is Ifgas 10, better than 8. So which one to choose? Okay. So in order to be able to have a sound decision, you need to apply this. Okay. So before we continue, let's discuss a few definition of terms. Okay. So at least you know the difference between your descriptive and inferential, right? Is that one clear? Okay.
Yes, teacher.
So we have some terminologies over here that we will be using. Okay. We will be using it back and forth. Okay. So we have here data. Okay. Or that is now actually okay. So it doesn't really distinguish. Okay, as long as it is information, it is now called data. For us, it's our job to separate it between relevant or non-relevant data. Okay. Now, we also have what you call here your population. Your population now is your source of data. Okay. But then this is now in general, everything. For example, I want to know the number, or I want to know the favorite food of students in the canteen. Okay, so I want to know what is the favorite food of students in the canteen. So what data am I going to collect? These are now the data that is now relevant to food, correct? Yes, but where, so my population is what? Population is, okay, so the source of data is your population. Will I ask parents for this one? Favorite food of students, will I ask the parents?
No.
Basically, no. That's the wrong target population. Okay, so population is now basically your source of data. If of your survey or the scope of your research or study, your population can change. If I want to get the, for example, election, during election for Indonesian president, what will be your target population?
People who are eligible to vote, meaning above 17 and or married, and not a convict.
And but take note, above 17, that's still general. Can I get an American that is now above 17?
Indonesian citizen above 17 years of age.
Indonesian, okay. So you need to make sure to limit your population. Okay. So you cannot say all people. So make sure. Now, what if, oh, going back to my question a while ago, favorite food students. Okay. When I say that favorite food of students, that is not a limited target population. Okay. I can go to Esman Satu, Esman Dua, right? Esman Tiga, which means we are now going to be having a very, very large number of population. Okay. But I do not want to know that. I just need to have a specific, okay, only a specific target population. Okay. So instead of getting the whole population, I can just take a small portion of the population to represent the entire body. Okay. And that small bit is now called your sample population. This is now small a smaller size taken from the population that will represent. For example, we are studying about elephants. Okay, you're studying about elephants are scattered around the world, right? But if I want to know some characteristics of elephants, do I need to gather all of those elephants around the world in order to make my discoveries or to answer my problems? For example, how many elephants can be born in 1 year? So what do? I'm just going to go to Africa and then I'm going to find a certain population for elephants, and then I'm going to study that population from that. And that is now going to generalize, saying that that is the behavior of all elephants. Understand?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay. So for now, I'm going to end here because there's no more time. So we have data, population, and sample population. Okay. So later we continue. So see you all this afternoon. Goodbye, everyone.